everybody to the Monaco Times! I am Augustus, and tonight's new topic is about workhouses and cities in the Victorian era. During this time, the country underwent a revolution in many of its aspects, but sometimes there were bad consequences, especially in big cities. At this time, life was difficult, especially for children, and that's why our main topic are going to be workhouses and cities. During this show, we are going to discover the difficult life of poor people and try to wonder if we, people of the modern period, will survive during this labor-intense time. So now, welcome to our guest! Take it. So, here are the guests. Anastasia, a famous historian who studies workhouses. Julie, an historian who studies cities in the Victorian era. And Manuela, who is a Harvard professor who has studied Charles Dickens, and so she will describe us the lives of children in workhouses, and especially his famous novel about Oliver Twist. So, Anastasia, can you please tell us what the workhouses were?
Workhouses were places where children, or poor people, were divided into categories, and boys and girls were separated. They had to work 16 hours per day, and so supervisors were really strict, mean, and not welcoming.
Interesting. Now, Manuela, can you please describe a little more what was the procedure of the workhouses?
The conditions in workhouses were equally difficult for men and women. We are going to focus on a book written by Charles Dickens, who was a famous author in Victorian times. This novel talks about a young child who was an orphan without mother and father. His name was Oliver Twist.
And does the book describe the workhouses?
There is a part where Charles Dickens describes Oliver's first impression when he enters into the dormitory. He said that the beds looked like coffin to Oliver's eyes, and when they were very hungry during the day, they stole food from the workhouse's kitchens, because they have no breaks during the day.
And I have a question. If the workhouses were like that, what about the cities? Julie, can you please describe to us the cities and the living conditions in this era?
So the cities were overcrowded, filled by poor children, adults and beggars. The streets were dirty and filthy, covered by rubbish on the grounds that were stinky. There were many insecurities. It was better to work in workhouses than to die in the grubby streets because there were many rats sneaking around, and if they bite you, you could die from the plague.
I totally agree with you. Poor people were considered lazy and worthless. At this time, it was simple. If you were wealthy, you had a good life, but if you were poor, you had to manage as best as you can.
Children were never integrated into society. They were considered as some sort of creatures. It was awful.
It was difficult at this time. Fortunately, things have evolved. And so, thank you for all of you for watching this show and hope you appreciate it. And see you tomorrow for another show.